crush anyone who blocks my path.
The blood that flows through her veins is special, and extremely dangerous. If showing pity would put my allies in danger, I will not hesitate to kill her.
How are you enjoying your time at the Academy thus far? I hope you have found our halls brimming with the vitality of well-intentioned souls.
Hey there everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem. 3 houses, or as of this episode, let's play Fire Emblem Golden Deer? Golden Steer? Golden Stag? The Gold House! Really should make sure I know the actual name of it, because, looked at comments, basically, all the houses look interesting to me. I had a feeling that the girls' house would be the most popular, because guys are freaking hornballs, and they'd be like, hey, I can have sex with the leader of that house. So I had a feeling I wasn't going for that one. Plus, in honesty, she just seems like an overdone character type. You know, the standoffish, arrogant, noble girl. I was like, yeah, okay, I've seen this a billion times already. So, was not super interested anyway. Don't necessarily mind the blue guy, although he also seems a bit, I'm just a good person. And I'm like, well, I'm sure there's more there, but definitely Claude was the one that caught my attention. So I was glad to see in comments people were like, no, yeah, Claude's an underrated house. It's interesting. I'd like to see this. Or people were like, do whatever you want, man. But no one was, the big thing I looked for and did not find was, everyone goes to the Golden House. So I was glad to see that.
I suppose it is time for you to take charge of one of our 3 houses of students. I must note that I am personally against entrusting someone as lacking.
Don't care.
The Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer.
Golden Deer.
All
Since you...
Yep, I know. I've seen this before. Well, it even starts off with the Black... the Black Eagle seems to be the house that everyone expects you to pick. Because not only in the intro do they actually have you saving... Adelbert? What is it? Adel something. Adelgard? They have her, you saving her life, but then the default option is her. But no. We are going with Cloud.
So you have chosen the Golden Deer led by Claude, correct?
No, I've chosen the Golden Deer led by me!
Your heart has made its choice then. All I ask is that you guide these open minds with virtue, care, and sincerity. My
heart has made its choice? No, if my heart made its choice, I would be going with Black, Lions? I should pay attention to the name. Also, why is it the Black Lions when she's the Red faction? It's confusing.
They are all promising youths who bear the weight of Fodlan's future upon their shoulders. I hope you appreciate what an honor it is to lead them.
To victory? They're gonna be the best house.
Brother? I am so sincerely sorry. I did not mean to interrupt.
Okay, we're in the middle of an audience chamber where you have to literally take like 20 steps from any door. There's no possible way you did not know we were in the middle of a conversation. Flan, you're a liar, and I don't trust you.
I'm in the middle of something, Flane. Is
Flane.
it urgent?
No, it's nothing. More importantly, who is this?
Wow, what a rude lady. I'm in the middle of something. I'm busy. Is it urgent? No, it's not. But I'm going to continue interrupting your conversation.
This is our newest professor at the Academy.
Oh my! A new addition to the Officers' Academy. I am so very pleased to meet you, Professor.
You have made a terrible first impression, little girl.
I am Sedith's little sister, Flame. I am so happy to make your acquaintance.
I feel like there was nothing to begin with. She just wanted to know who I was. She's a freaking gossip monger.
Let us focus on the topic at hand. There is something you should be aware of. In a few days' time, there will be a mock battle between the 3 houses, intended to gauge the current progress of the students.
I would say I'm going to win it, except this may actually legit be a battle where I'm, like, required to lose, simply because, you know, they want to be able to show my progress. They don't want me to be the leader from the beginning.
We will be using this battle as an opportunity to ascertain your own abilities as well. Please do not disappoint the Archbishop. That is all.
Wow. Hi, Mr. Person who has never taught a day in his life. We're having a battle in 3 days. Good luck. This school has issues. Just saying.
What? Are you really our new homeroom professor?
Is that true? You aren't quite what I had pictured. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean that the way it sounded.
Oh, by the way, I should also mention, although I'm sure you can all figure it out, up in the title, it went back to... I have it as episode 3, but I'm very curious about it. Because whenever I beat this, people have told me that these are very character-focused, so I probably will play the other 2 routes. And so I'm guessing that when I go to, like, Blue Eagles, it will go back to, like, Blue Eagle episode 3 rather than Blue Eagle episode 72, or whatever number I'm on when I beat this storyline. So, but hopefully that makes sense. I don't want to do episode 1, because then people will expect it to be the beginning of the Let's Play. So I guess that's how we'll do it, but it'll still look weird. So yeah, if you want to see another house and it's not, you know, as this is coming out, look at the playlist and see if, you know, there's a like Blue Eagle and Black Falcon Lion, whatever the black one is.
I was sure you'd be roped into joining the Knights.
Don't tell me. You chose this class just to get to know me better, right? I'm flattered, really.
Well...
Whoops. Now that you're our professor, maybe I should choose my words more carefully.
But we both know you won't. Why is this a choice?
Oh, well then, since we're pretty close in age and all, I suppose formalities aren't all that necessary.
One must truly marvel at the exceptionality of this appointment. Becoming a teacher to students almost the same age as yourself. How unusual.
Yeah, that is weird. Like, literally all I did was, like, beat up some bandits. Now, granted, I will give you that we had the 3 heads of the noble of the, like, houses fleeing from about 8 bandits, and then I was able to dispatch them with myself and... Like, actually, that was it. It was me, because even the other mercenary guy didn't even help. I just kind of rallied them and led them, so I guess it doesn't make a complete lack of sense, but it's more... I mean, these people must have been freaking desperate. They're like, oh my god, we need to... Wait, oh, this guy showed up, just make him do it.
I've heard you are a skilled mercenary, but I cannot shake my discomfort at your new position.
Are you really as strong as they say? Let's see your biceps. I bet I packed on more muscle than you.
I doubt that. Apparently our new professor was personally recommended by Alois, one of the knights.
And I'm the son of the greatest knight in history.
As far as skill goes, I saw it with my own eyes. What's more, Teach here is the child of the most renowned former captain of the Knights of Saros.
I heard. There's no way a child of the captain isn't worthy. It's simply not possible.
The captain? Who are you talking about?
How do you not know who the most famous captain of the Knights of Saros is? Lysithea, I need you to go and hit the book some more.
Captain Gerald, of course. The most notable captain of the Knights of Saros and a peerless mercenary. Huh. It doesn't matter what you think of him. Captain Gerald deserves nothing but respect.
I know him a lot better than you do, Leonie.
Well, after working as a mercenary alongside a father figure such as he, I have high hopes for our professor.
Just because someone is special doesn't mean their children are special too, Lysithea.
That is very true, Hilda. However, I'm not necessarily qualified for this position because I am, someone famous's son. I'm qualified for this position because I am a mercenary that was personally trained by the most famous knight in, the Knights of Saros' history. It's not that I'm his kid, it's that I'm his, apprentice.
Assuming that a child is going to be exceptional just because of their lineage is a bad idea. Don't you agree, Marianne?
That was definitely a barbed comment.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, we can find out for ourselves in battle. I can't wait to see what tactics you've learned from the captain.
I've learned to hit people when they're going to get hurt and not hit people when they're going to kill me.
A battle? Shouldn't we have a welcome party or something first? I'll get the meat.
How savage. I propose a nice conversation over tea instead. I am more than willing to procure some high-quality leaves.
People, we can eat all kinds of things.
Tea? You can't get to know someone over tea. If there's no meat involved, it's not a party.
Okay, why are we arguing about this? The only answer is booze.
Your common sensibilities are grating to my noble ears. Please quiet yourself.
Sorry for the bickering, Teach. As you can see, the Golden Deer House is a rowdy bunch. We're not especially unified.
I like these guys so far, though granted Claude is the best.
You'll find nobles and commoners alike here. Those who are dedicated to their studies alongside slackers. But hey, that just makes your life more exciting, right? I really hope you're looking forward to the year ahead as much as I am.
Speedroll while one unit, when you select another, indicates the units have something to say. Yeah, I figured that out already. They got some... Actually, people told me that you can do things on the loading screen, and I can see it, where I can make him jump. But I can't seem to make him go the other way very well. There are new places to explore in the monastery. Oh, it's the 24th. Now it's the 26th. Wow, I have 3 days to get ready, and you just skipped 2 of them.
While you're here, I'd like to use this device I designed to determine whether the power of a crest resides within you. Won't hurt a bit. Promise.
That's suspicious already.
You don't know about crests? Well, allow me to tell you everything.
Let me talk your literal ear off.
Everything about them. Is your calendar clear? This will take a while.
Don't forget, I only have 3 days to prepare, and I lost 2 of them, and now you're going to take up... I guess I lost the first, and up until now in the second one.
Crests are a fascinating topic. But before one can dive deeply into said topic, one must first understand what crests are.
That does seem to be a good place to start.
Power incarnate. They are said to have been bestowed upon humans by the goddess
Which goddess?
countless ages ago. They exist within the flesh and are passed down through bloodlines.
They did say that almost everyone worships, is it Saros? I think it's Saros. So I'm assuming Saros is the goddess, but it is interesting they didn't say.
Those who carry crests may excel at magic, display exceptional strength, or any number of boons. Each crest has its own power, the nature of which is beyond mortal understanding. For now.
It's interesting that I've never heard this, even though I've been trained in military tactics for my whole life. Well, no, he doesn't believe it. He's testing to find out if you do.
I suspect as much, yes. But we won't know for sure unless I look into the matter. However, just because someone carries a crest does not necessarily mean their descendants will inherit it as well.
Okay, as I said, Crest will pass down through blood. I was like, what did I miss?
Only a scarce few descendants of a crest's bloodline end up inheriting that crest's power. Perhaps one of your ancestors bore a crest, and you just happen to inherit it. That is how a crest usually presents itself, after all.
Well, they've got to come from somewhere, though. They had to originate in some fashion. I mean, why not?
Yes, of course. I'll get to the bottom of it straight away.
Stay away from my bottom.
Now then, please go ahead and hold out your arm over this device here.
There's literally no device there.
What is this?
Wow, that was a bit of a weird voice acting job. What is this?
A pattern I've never seen before. Is it possible an as yet undiscovered crest has been detected?
Or it's possible you just aren't as much of an expert as you thought.
To think there are still crests out there that even I am unaware of. How thrilling! Ahem. Pardon my unrestrained jubilation.
That was jubilation?
I have much to consider. You may leave now.
See, if I was voice animator, I'd be like, What is this? I've never seen this pattern before. Is it I've never seen this before. I didn't think there were crests around that I hadn't seen before. This is amazing. Like, that's jubilation, my friend.
I have more research to do in regard to this crest. Yes, so very much more research. But for now, your work here is done. What could this line here be indicating? Perhaps it represents a lack of symmetry. Or perhaps... What in the world? Oh, I see. It may be connected to that, but to a greater degree than usual.
Okay, like, he's not going to tell me anything. Why am I listening to this? Yes, walk away, Varoth. Wow, the day of the battle. I literally have no time to prep.
With each moon, professors of the Officers' Academy receive a schedule for the month ahead.
A schedule?
It notes the days on which events and missions will take place that month.
Whatever day is highlighted, holy crap, there's everything going on.
Pay careful attention to your schedule, so that you may thoughtfully plan what you intend to do each month, and when.
It's hard to do that when you take all the days away from me. My schedule of events on different days. Each week you'll have one day off, but you can choose activity from the list. Your only option at first will be explore. What do you mean it can't be so? There's a battle today, literally. You said in 3 days. It's the 3rd day. How can I not participate in the battle? So this is my room. I heard a girl voice, but I may have been imagining. I actually didn't look at what was coming up. I probably should have. Although at the same time, if I'm in a situation where I only have one option, does it really matter if I'm not like preparing what to do in the future? Greetings up. Please assist me in catching delectable fish from the St. Celsian celebration. Alright, so vegetables and
These are the students' quarters. To better help you supervise them, you also have a room here. Your room is here at the end.
Did you not see me literally just walk out of the room?
Commoner students also reside on the 1st floor, while the 2nd is primarily for students of noble birth. As a rule, we try to avoid discrimination based on social status here, but the nobility can be quite insistent when it comes to matters of propriety. Speaking of, it would be best for you to avoid improper conduct. I expect you to set a good example for the students.
You are not a nice person. Maybe I should ask. Maybe you should.
I'm not too keen on the professor of my class. I really hope to focus more on strategy.
You should come to my class.
Maybe I should talk to my professor about transferring to a different class.
Hey, it's to do.
As it were. Let me know when you are hungry. I will make you a quality meal, as thanks for your service to His Highness. I have a request.
Okay.
I heard about the upcoming mock battle. I want you to know, Professor, that I do not intend to lose. I hereby declare my intention to prevail at...
Well, good. It would be no fun for me if I beat you and you weren't trying.
Goodness, listen to me. The thrill of competition has carried me away. I won't speak so formally of a class assignment in the future.
Sure you won't. I don't believe that for a second. Okay, so there's Claude. I need to talk to him and the other class leaders. Although apparently, yeah, I just talked to one, so...
about the mock battle that's coming up, you don't mind me sitting it out, do you?
Why?
As a fragile maiden, I'm useless in battle. I'll just cheer everyone on instead.
You know why you're here, right?
Did you hear the news, Teach? Looks like we're gonna have a good old mock battle between the houses. The Golden Deer House isn't exactly what you'd call an elite group just yet, so you may want to whip everyone into shape.
It's today! How am I supposed to do that?
After all, competition is only fun if you win. To that end, I'd better prepare as well.
That's interesting. Competition's only fun if you
I was
win.
researching what it's like to live here long before I even enrolled. Want me to fill you in, Teach? Students and teachers of the Officers' Academy are all free to use the facilities within the monastery.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That means you can chow down with students at the dining hall or get in some one-on-one sparring at the training grounds. As you explore the monastery, try visiting the various facilities.
That's literally what we're doing today.
People who live here. If you haven't noticed, there are bulletin boards in various places around here. You can check them out to see posted requests or to find more information about the market. I hear that fulfilling requests can even earn you the right to use more facilities.
Does a teacher have to get the right to use more
The bulletin
facilities?
board gets updated frequently, so it's probably a good idea to check it once a month. Far be it from me to tell you how to use the facilities, but it's a good idea to be mindful of how you're using your time. If you don't think about how you're spending your free time, it'll be over before you know it.
Okay, so it's almost a Persona-like system where you have limited amount of time for stuff like this. I guess also a Trails of Cold Steel.
Here at the Officers Academy, even professors are expected to study often to help maintain their strong leadership skills. In other words, students and teachers alike have to strive to grow in every possible field.
Well, I don't have any things up top in order to tell me how much time I have left, so I assume that I can, that's not an issue just yet. The dormitory. This may just be a long exploration episode, guys. I don't think we'll actually get to the battle at this rate. There's a lot of stuff going on. And there's a kitty! What? It's a ghost kitty.
I'm Captain Gerald's first and best apprentice. I can beat anyone, Professor. Even you, if I have to.
That's why you're so freaking obsessed with
It
him.
may have been only for a short time, but I learned from the absolute best.
Dude, it's my dad.
I was just heading back to my room. Bye!
And then she disappears.
Well, there's Dorothea, Hilda, and Mercedes. Lady Rhea's quite the beauty, too. And I must admit, I've even checked out Professor Manuela once or twice.
How can you not? She's got her, boobages everywhere.
You know, Professor, I think I'm going to like it at the Officers Academy. There are beautiful girls as far as the eye can see.
I wonder how this conversation changes if I'm a girl.
Professor, I've got a small favor to ask.
Well, don't be nervous about the mock battle. Just... Wait, who are you? Just lose to me quickly, and it will go much easier. Alright, so here's the greenhouse and the fishing pond.
The Great Tree Moon is the best time of the year for naps.
It's interesting that everything is voice acted in this game. I'm surprised. Usually I have to voice act some of it in between.
I could just forget all about my assignment.
You do that anyway.
Yeah.
Why would you tell that to a professor?
Let's see. I'm a little busy. If you're looking for the greenhouse, it's right there. See it? Looks like a greenhouse. That's it.
Oh, this guy isn't the most pleasant of peaches. Apparently can't go that way.
Oh, did you come to look at the plants too? The greenhouse here is really incredible.
I came to get some tomatoes, which are disgusting, but I have to get them.
There are so many rare flowers I'd never seen back home, and herbs I never even knew existed. My adoptive father is the real expert. He taught me everything I know about
I probably
herbs,
should be reading out
including how to tell them
what
apart
I'm saying,
and
for those of you that aren't tabbed to this tab.
You should try looking around the greenhouse sometime if the mood strikes you. Maybe something will catch your eye.
I will do so. Okay. Oh wait, that takes up time, doesn't it? Crap. By gardening, you can harvest all kinds of crops. Flowers, for instance, make great gifts. Some of you might even decorate the room with the flowers you give them. Use the plant command to decide which seeds to use. More seeds mean a bigger harvest, while more compatible seeds lead to higher quality. Use cultivate command to pay the green to keep it to look after your crop. The more you spend, the better your harvest will be. I'll be ready 1 week after you plant your seeds.
My thanks.
No, that didn't take up my... So what takes up time? I'm not getting a super clear answer on that. It's a fisher dude. She hasn't been unlocked yet. Boo. Well, that's lame.
Unbelievable.
Okay, can't go that way. Hey, it's a puppers. Also a ghost pupper. I'm glad the dogs and the cats get along. It's an up high cat. Hi, up high kitty. And they say meow because they're cats. I'm an expert on cats. I know they say meow.
Hello there, Professor.
Hello there, rude girl.
Well, I call you that, but I am afraid I am not a student here myself.
Which is probably why you have no manners. Yeah, don't... she's underage. Don't say that.
Should the opportunity arise, I would love to become a student and begin my studies in earnest. The monastery is kind enough to provide a sanctuary for my brother and I. He's the only family I have.
I don't know about kind enough. Isn't your brother like one of the administrators?
Might you help me with a favor?
Okay, so now I should have unlocked fishing. Fantastic! In fishing, first of... Yeah, guys, progress has been made. I did not absolutely refuse to fish. There's the A button when the circle overlaps where you stamina of the hooked fish. When stamina is depleted, you'll have successfully caught it. When it breaks, the fish will escape. Repeat. Excellent timing to create combos to reduce the fish's stamina quickly. And excellent timing, your net will become more... You'll net more valuable fish than usual. How does that work? How does my timing on the minigame cause the fish that's at the end of the line to change? Had to look down and see what button A was. Alright, I got Carassius. Small fish common to all regions of Fodlan, sometimes connected to St. Cecilian. I literally just did it.
Dear Goddess, I pray to thee. Please protect us.
God helps those who protect themselves, Marianne. Okay, very glad she's not in my house. She seems boring.
You have helped me so much.
Uh-oh, cutscene. Okay, not much of a cutscene, more of a... I wonder why I waited this long until I got into the dining hall to say it's a dining hall. It is me.
I'm busy. Do you want something?
Wow, you're not the most polite of turnips.
I can't right now, but let's fight soon. I look forward to beating you.
I look forward to wiping that smug look off your face. I'm all sneaking up on him.
Ugh, I really need to eat. I can't hold out until the next meal. Why can't the dining hall stay open all the time? I need to keep eating if I want to get stronger.
You either need to eat less or get bigger shirts, man. Interesting. Okay, so I have to... So I can... Interesting. She doesn't like me right now. And she would like this. So I feel like I need to try and get back on her good side. It's also interesting that I'm only allowed to invite women. Why can't I have a meal with my bro?
Whatever served, I'll eat. No complaints. Eating delicious food really takes my worries away.
Okay, so she leveled up, and I did get her off of the, oh, you talked bad about you talked about your own father, which I clearly know more about than you. Excellent. Have more monthly funds for activities.
Nice. I knew I could count on you.
You're getting right to it. I'm impressed to find someone more proactive than I am. Let's go. Alright, next time will be my turn. So I didn't get the extra points immediately. It happens next time. That makes sense, though. So it says that I want to stop now that I finished everything, but I haven't talked to everyone yet. I want to know about these people.
Here at the monastery, I have had many great learnings from many great people. I am hopeful to have learnings from you, too. As forever, I will do my best trying.
I am glad they gave her a slight, like, they don't have an accent in terms of how she speaks, but in how she understands English. But it's still, like, it's endearing and not, you know, racist isn't the right word. But you know how sometimes you'll have people with accents and they'll be like, oh, I am much good friend for you now. And I'm just like, oh my god, that's so cringy, stop. So, thank you for not being cringy and stoppy. What's this? Okay, I need to look for Sparkle Dews. That's okay. I've been playing games lately that excel at making me look for Sparkle Dews. So, thank you very much, Judgment.
Right.
Don't you write me. Right as rain, more like it. Hello, Gatekeeper.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
Glad to hear it.
But have you ever regretted a decision and wished you could go back and undo it?
No, because I do that anyway.
It's too bad there's no lesson for how to turn back the old clock, huh? But I suppose a bad decision isn't worth all that fuss.
It depends on the decision. There's definitely decisions that are terrible, and I deeply wish I had done differently.
Indeed.
Hell, if I had like known about Let's Playing and invested the money into it back in college, my god.
Hello, Professor.
Oh well.
I have a teeny tiny question for you, if that's all right.
Lay it on me.
You haven't seen a man with hair the same color as mine, a scowling face, and a generally gloomy demeanor, have you?
I don't think so. I've met my archer lady that like is in love with my dad.
Well, yes. It's a bit difficult to explain. Please just let me know if you do see him, okay?
Yeah, this is exactly why I want to talk to everyone, because some of them, depending on how your answers, they like you more.
I hear a member of House Fresfel, the ruling family of the Empire, has entered the Officers' Academy for the first time in ages.
Interesting.
It is said that the Adrestian Empire's very founding was aided by none other than Saint Seros.
Well, of course, the ruling family would want you to believe
That
that.
is why the crest of Seros is on the Imperial flag. In recent years, a rift has developed between the Empire and the Church. Let us hope this will be a good opportunity for both.
Okay. I ran out of interest.
There are two types of crests. Major crests manifest their power most effectively, while minor crests are slightly weaker.
That's very obvious and
It is
logical.
said that the closer a person's blood relation is to various saints and heroes, the higher their chance of bearing a major crest. Of course, there are also examples of major crests manifesting in children whose parents bear no crest whatsoever.
So basically, what you just said is a complete and fucking lie.
The exact nature of how and why crests are inherited is still a mystery.
Professor. Have you gotten around to visiting the library?
No, I have yet to find the library.
It's absolutely loaded with valuable information. I only wish I wasn't burdened with the necessity of sleep, so I could spend all my hours there.
You know, they do say you can get down to only needing 4 hours a night.
In a manner, yes. But it's more that I want to learn as much as I possibly can.
Alright, guys. I know we're technically done, but like I said, the more I talk to people, the more I can make them like me. I can force them to like me. Okay, I thought I'd done everything, but it never hurts to check and make sure, right? Right. There's right. So here's where this is.
Do bear in mind that even as you are appraising your students, they are appraising you as well.
Well, obviously, that's why I'm being professional.
I hope that you will do your best to form lasting bonds with your flock. Oh, and I look forward to witnessing your prowess in the mock battle.
I'm sure you do, because you're looking to be impressed. Alright, so now because I was wondering about that, I'm like, where is the audience hall? Because he just warps me there. So if my level went up, why am I still E? Oh, I'm E+. Oh, that's just use different. Oh, that's annoying.
The church has changed a lot since my time. Sedith, Hanneman, Manuela, Yuritsa, and many of the knights. None of them were around 20 years ago. Have you met Leonie yet? Apparently, it was my influence that inspired her to leave her village.
Yeah, apparently she's like obsessed with you. It's a little creepy.
Sorry to burden you, but could you watch over her for me? She's the only apprentice I've ever had.
What about me? I know, kitty. I just got snubbed by my old man. Man, freaking, I'm bringing to like long-lost sister people all the time, and I don't like it.
Captain Gerald has hardly changed since 20 years ago.
Of course not, because people that are correct do not need to change.
I've aged at least 3 times as much as he has. Why am I talking about this? Oh, right. It was because I just overheard Tomas remarking on the subject. The leader of a legendary group of knights returned. People are bound to be talking about the old captain.
Why do you need justification for what you want to do?
Apparently, there is to be a mock battle between the houses. Interesting, but I hope you understand that I have far more important things on my mind.
Good, then I will be glad to be... Which house are you leading, actually?
My research is proceeding slower than I would like. Your crest is something of a challenge. Frustrating, yet also quite intriguing. I was wondering if I might get a sample of your flesh. A couple square inches would do.
What the hell?
No. Perhaps some blood? A couple of drops on the device are all I need.
Blood I will give you. You don't get to cut off a square of flesh.
Oh, thank you, Professor. Those few drops of blood are invaluable.
I do feel like eventually he's going to like
so much more to learn.
artifice my crest and use it against me. Like I just feel like it, but at the same time.
A mock battle? This early? Wow, Professor. They're not giving you any time to settle in, are they?
Not at all.
Don't worry, though. Should you get injured, I will care for you all through your recuperation. I will see to you, oh so very, very personally.
Okay. So apparently sexual harassment is not a thing here. Okay. I found the button. I was like, do these halls go anywhere? And yeah, there's one person to talk to down here. And I found them.
What the? Professor, I hear you are lacking in knowledge of the Church of Seros.
Well, that's a rude way of saying it.
The library contains countless
Hey, we found the library!
documents about the teaching and the history of the Church. I encourage you to make good use of them.
Oh, jeebus. Okay, no, it's not every single bookshelf. I was like... The revelation. The goddess is all things. She is heaven above and the land below. She is eternity incarnate. She is the present, the past, and the future. Her eyes see all. Her ears hear all. Her hand gropes all. She who was graced with the holy word of the divine... I thought she was the divine goddess! Who bore... Yeah! This religion is stupid! Who bore witness to her magnificence is the one called Seros. Oh, we changed who we're talking about. Urgh. She is the messenger from the heaven and the bridge between the lands, the above and the below. Her blessing shall bring tidings of peace to all. With the goddess' omnipotence and wisdom to guide her, Seros ensures her will be done. As the goddess' sword, Seros wards away evil. As the goddess' child, Seros makes emperors of mortals. As the goddess's wings, Seros elevates her people. As the goddess's voice, Seros spreads the word of love. That sublime sword is entrusted to you. Those emperors are crowned before you. Those wings clear your path, and that voice whispers words of trust. May the blessings of the gods follow. That didn't tell me anything! Lame. In the beginning, amid the great cloudless ocean, Fodlan came to be. At the end of the long journey, the goddess glimpsed the land and there alighted. Upon that sacred ground, she breathed life into the world and created all the creatures upon it. By the goddess's hand, the plants took root, the birds took to the sky, and animals roamed the land with fur and claw and fang. Lastly, she created humanity. When the humans wished for power, she granted it, because she spoils her children mightily. She gifted them with blessings of the heaven and of the earth, by way of magical arts. Humanity attained great power, but yet unaware the great power portends great evil. By the grace of the goddess' divine protection, humanity thrived. Through her blessing, they grew prosperous and their numbers rose. Before long, they became the most powerful creatures in all of Fodlan. All was well until darkness descended from the north, across the great wall of ice. A darkness that devoured the earth, desecrated the heavens, and threw the world and the inhabitants into a state of chaos. Why is it that north is always the direction the evil comes from? In Game of Thrones, it comes from the north. In Legend of Zelda, Death Mountain is always to the north. To face this evil force, the goddess created a new well of power. She gifted a certain chosen individuals with sacred blood, allowing them to wield mystical weapons they may prevail against the darkness. These souls, buoyed by their divine gifts, conquered the evil ones and drove them back to the north. They came to be known as heroes. The heroes experienced unnaturally long lives, persisting for hundreds of years. Even after they breathed their last, the power coursing through their blood remained, leaving an indelible mark upon the world. The power passed through bloodlines came to be known as crests. The mystical weapons they once wielded are called heroes' relics, and so the legend of the New Age was born. Welcome to the New Age! The descendants of the heroes sought their ancestral power, and thus their blood in time. In time they amassed Crest, relics, land, and wealth, using it all to set up the land of flame with war. The goddess's power and tenderness flow of evil became a tool for destruction. All became the greed of humanity. Thus grieved and heartbroken, hid herself in the heavens from whence she came. Oh my god. We're gonna be here for a while, guys. The 5 eternal commandments. Dare not doubt or deny the power or existence of the goddess. Dare not speak the goddess's name in vain. Dare not disrespect your father, mother, or any who serve the goddess. Dare not abuse the power gifted to you by the goddess. Dare not harm, kill, lie, or steal, unless such acts are committed by the will of the goddess. Oh, there's page 3. The goddess cares for all, and protects that which is beautiful in the world. The goddess will never deny the splendors of love, affection, or joy. Follow her example, and in doing so, abide her laws.
Could I trouble you?
It is interesting how they're not, like, the books are very not evenly put together. A register of prominent noble house in the Adressian Empire. Document is expressly for the use of the Church of Seros, so are forbidden to remove or peruse this document. House Hisveg. The most distinguished noble house in the Empire, traces all the way back to the great Emperor, Wilhelm. It has been governing the house of the Empire for 11,000 years. In addition to the first Emperor, its lineage is also traced back to Saint Seros herself, which is why the generations of emperors have believed to bear the believed to bear the crest of Seros. House Hesfeg resides in Enbar, the imperial capital, claiming all its surrounding territory as its domains. It boasts a supreme authority both within the empire and without, until the insurrection of the Seven in 1171, in which most of its power was stripped away by the nobility. Recent years, series of misfortunes have plagued this storied house. Some of these dark clouds hover over the future of the Hesfeg region. House Agir, House of the Dukes, possessing great power within the empire, second only to House Hesfeg. The head of the house can occupy the post of Prime Minister, rendering the title a hereditary one thereafter. House Agir has led the insurrection of the Seven and in many ways holds the true governing power of the empire. House Vestra, the House of the Marquis without domain, existing in the shadow of House Hesfeg. In addition of managing the darker tasks of the empire, it is responsible for the empire's proprietary affairs, including the coordinating things such as ceremonies and rituals, imperial consorts, and the imperial guard. House Vestra was allied with House Agir in the insurrection. House Hevring. Wow, Hevring and Hesfreg. That is not a good naming thing. House counts the inherited rank over the empire's domestic affairs, particularly those of administration, finance, and the judiciary. Particularly classes with the Minister of Military Affairs of these matters, much of the territory lies in the Olgama Mountains. As such, it appears the fruits of lucrative mining industry. House Berglitz, probably the military one. House counts that have inherited role in Empire's Ministry of Military Affairs. It commands all the armies that do not directly belong to the Emperor. During times of war, the head of the house becomes the Imperial Army's commander-in-chief. Their territory encompasses most of the Empire's main breadbasket, the Gronder Field. And House Varley. House consists of, as inherited, the rule of the Empire's Ministry of Religion. The main responsibility is to maintain amicable relationships with the Church of Seros. Due to the estrangement of the Church from the Empire in recent years, it is now more involved with the judiciary, causing political strife within the Ministry of the Interior. Register of prominent nobles of the Adressian Empire. Yep, okay. House Genth. House of Dukes has inherited the rule over the Empire's Ministry of the Exterior, diplomacy, foreign relations, and relations with the various provinces and the capital fall over its purview. Worked hard to secure the ceasefires that ended both the Brigid and Dagna campaigns. Though complicit in the insurrection, it remains distant from associated houses. House Arundel. Interesting name. Former minor house of the Empire, the head of the house when Volksad's younger sister became betrothed to the Emperor Ignos IX. Looking at the title of Lord Arundel, having worked closely with House Agir, House Arundel is seen as the chief instigators in the insurrection of the Seven. House Hrim, House of the Imperial Viscounts. Resisting Empire Arundus IX's policy of power socialization, it set out to join the alliance and secure independence for the Empire, but was unable to overcome the Imperial Army's intervention. In the aftermath, the House's main genetic line was wiped out. The current head of the house is an adoptee. House Duvel. The House of Imperial Viscounts, along with territory on the western coast of the Empire, centered around its namesake harbor of Nouvelle. The house is flourished thanks to its commerce with Dagda, the land of albinos, and Brigid. The other territories, even still, it fell to ruin in 1175 after permitting the combined invading force of Dagda and Brigid to make landfall. House Ox. A house of imperial barons, territory occupied the northern half of the western peninsula known as Fulgen's Fangs. The head of the house was lost to Dagda in the Brigid War. House Bartels. The house of imperial barons, highly ambitious, it sought and aspired several crests at first bloodline. In 1176, many members, including the head of the house, died under unexplained circumstances. Crest War. The deed was attributed to the heir Emil. His whereabouts unknown. The leadership of the house fell to a distant relative. We're kind of almost there. House Regan. Oh my god, how many of these are there? In the house of the Leicester Alliance, the descendant of the Ten Elites, in the Crescent Moon War of 881, they spearhead the move towards independence for the kingdom, as well as establishment of republic by its former vassals. They have held esteemed responsibility of leading the alliance round table ever since. Position of the House of Dukes relies on the noble rank bestowed upon the kingdom. It is well before the alliance's founding. So does that mean that Claude's segment up there used to be part of the Empire and just left? The current Duke Regan's heir, Godfrey, died in the accident while on duty. While he did leave behind a surviving daughter, she is presently unaccounted for. House Goneril. Descendants of the Tenelites. It is a military house that is chiefly tasked with military strikes and defense against the Armenian army. Most duty to the territory positioned to the east. Lord Holst, the next head of the house, is widely renowned as the Alliance's bravest general. House Ordalia, house of counts within the land of the Leicester territory. In 1167, it was involved in House Shrem's rebellion. The Empire retaliated, repeatedly meddling in the House of internal affairs, leading to a sharp decline in its noble standing. House Gloucester. This is one of the 10 elites. This house of counts hails from the southern Leicester territory. Current head of house is ambitious, excels at public relations, and has an influential voice among the 5 noble families, with voting rights in Leicester Alliance. Second only to House Regan. House Edmund. House of Margraves? I've not heard of Margrave. In the land of the northern Leicester territory. Beneficial trade politics, emphasizing fair use of personal harbors, have awarded the house a great deal of clout, to such a degree that it was eventually accepted the ranks of the 5 great lords of the Alliance. Current head of the house is a renowned orator. House Daphne, son of one of the 10 elites, formerly among the 5 great lords of the Alliance, lost much of his power due to external discord. On several generations, no head of House Daphne was born a Crest. Now this still maintains its status as a noble family. House Blinded. This house claims Blinded the 10 elites as its ancestor, has ruled the kingdom for over 400 years, ever since Lugh, king of the Lions, claimed victory in the War of the Eagle and Lion in 751. Secured the kingdom's independence from the Adrestian Empire, after which Lugh was crowned the first inaugural king of the Church of Seros. House Blondid resides in... Oh my god, what is with these names? Fjordide. House Blondid resides in Fjordide, the kingdom capital, claiming all of the surrounding territory and its domains, and many of the fiefdoms, and the northern Fjorden as its vassals. With the passing of the King Lambert in 1176, its older brother, Grand Duke Rufus of Ithia, assumed burdens of ruling the kingdom, and the crown prince is dead. Even still, strife and discord continue to plague the land. House Fredris. The House of Duke claimed Fredris as the general leader of its ancestor, one of the most ancient houses on record. Even amongst the kingdom nobility, it is said that Cryphon, the sword friend of the Lugh, the king of the Lions, was related to the House of Varandris. House Gontier. The head of the Margraves claims that Gontier is the general leader of his ancestor. The territory lies in the northernmost region of the kingdom. As such, it has safeguarded the kingdom territory against the incursions of the people of Sark region for 200 years. House Charon. Okay, this sounds less gary. The house consists of the claims that Charon, of one of the 10 elites, its ancestor, tasked with negotiating between the resistance armies of the Church of Seros during the War of the 8 Lions, the War of the 8 Eagle and Lion. The head of the house, Charon, continues the tradition of ceremony and compassion with the kingdom. House Galtea. With the House of Daphne, once again the cornerstone of the later alliance, was divided into 2 over an inheritance feud. Half of them defected to Fragris and established the House of Galtea, which granted the noble title of Count. This territory consists of frigid wasteland where severe famine occurred in the early 1170s. House Rowe. A noble house once held territory in the Northern Empire. When the fortress city of Amandarad was constructed within its domain, it revolted with the Empire and pledged the entirety of its territory, including Aranrod, to the Holy Kingdom of Ferragus. For this contribution, it was awarded the noble title of Count. House Clyman. The house originally held no more than a lordship over a single castle in the west of the kingdom, but was awarded the noble title of Viscount due to its great success in the subjugation of the Duskar region in 1176. Alright. Only a couple left, guys. It looks like...
Say now, Tomas has served as the monastery's librarian for decades. Actually, he was away from Garreg for a spell, but he returned to his post last year. There is no one as familiar with the monastery's archives as he is.
Good to know. So it looks like these are the last 2, guys. Under the tyranny of ruthless disorder, the people endured a long period of suffering. The vile Nemesis, who prayed to clean of liberation. Wow, Nemesis. Why would you name yourself that, or did we name you that?
Thank you.